How's it going, everybody? This is TheMrDarkPhoenix here, bringing you guys another episode of Dead or Alive 5, The Online Warrior. This series where I basically play through the games. I play some online matches, give you guys some commentary, give you guys some tips, basically discuss a topic or two that I feel is important to the community and to you guys watching. I appreciate all of you that watch, I appreciate all of you that subscribe. And, you know, I couldn't do this without you guys, and I'm really grateful for all of you that watched, and I'm really hopeful that this helps you, and that, you know, you share this video, and you just tell all your friends, hey, you know, this guy knows what we're going through, so, and, you know, I appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much again. Now, let's start off with a topic that's really funny for me to start out with. I'm going up against a Hayabusa as Kokoro. Something funny. One little topic here. It's funny, I go up against this Hayabusa, and, as you can see, certain points here, you know, I know what I'm doing, and I do go on some real offensive, because one of my really good friends out there, Emmanuel Master Rodriguez, basically mastered Hayabusa, and basically, you know, plays as Hayabusa, so, you know, I know most of Hayabusa's tricks. I know how to fight against some things, I know what to do against certain tactics like that. You know, I know how to basically fight against that, and that's really thanks to me playing against Master and watching him. You know, like I said, he's a really good friend of mine. I know a lot of the players in the community, like him, you know, Master, Swoozy, Vanessa, all of them. So going up against certain characters that they play against, I'm like, yeah, I got this, because I know what to do against, you know, their characters, because I've watched it on streams or on tournaments. I personally played with them in that respect. You know, I still took this L because, you know, like I said, you know, one thing that's bad is if you jump the gun with yourself and you believe that, you know, oh, I won, I can do whatever I want. That's not the case. One thing you always have to remember is, you know, until your opponent's KO'd, you cannot rest. You cannot sleep on your opponent, because you never know what's gonna happen or what they're gonna do, depending on whatever. So with this, you know, I got that also. Cannot believe I'm showing that on the Online Warrior, but it's a learning experience, so, you know, wouldn't be a fighting game if you didn't get perfect at it once in a while. I always never know what to do against that Psycho Crusher head move. I always just either fall for it, just, you know, do whatever. So that's one thing I never knew against. But here, I changed up my mental game plan. I'm like, you know, I have to calm down. Even like this, the Nimpo, I know what to do against that. Either you counter it, or you hit him out of it, or, you know, something else like that happens. So that's something that I personally know what to do. And this right here is down to the wire again, but the thing is, I was calm, I waited, and I was able to take the victory based on that merit. So, like I said, even anybody can pick up patience. Anyone can pick up on it, but it's just how you do it consistently is what really matters in a match. And knowing your opponent, like I knew he was going to do the mid punch, so that's how I counter. Like I said in previous episodes, and I will always say, you counter, it's 50-50. It's not 70-30, it's not 60-40, it's 50-50. You know what your opponent's going to do or you don't. If you guess wrong twice, then just leave it, because then you're going to be punished, you're going to be predictable. And so, like, stuff like this, I just kept going on the attack, and I just kept doing all of that. And now it's down to the wire again, but I breathe. You know, I keep calm. I'm almost at a slither of health, but this is when the perfect time where I caught myself and I caught my opponent in something, and that's how I wound up winning, and also getting an achievement. See? But it's really, it just depends on what your patience level is. You know, like, you have to wait for your opponent to make a mistake. You have to wait for some small window, and that's what DOA is. That's what all fighting games are. You have to basically wait for your window of opportunity, and then you take it. Now, I'm juggling between Milla and Kokoro, but I sometimes try and juggle between the two ladies, because I'm not really that confident in my Elliot yet. So I go with Milla against the Sarah. Now this starts a new subject, and that's I've never fought a Sarah before. I fought Sarah, and I played Virtua Fighter for a little bit. I used Sarah a little bit, but as how they transcended her to Dead or Alive, I've never played against a Sarah before. I don't know what to expect. So that's what the new topic on this Online Warrior series is going to be, and that's going to be about dealing with characters that you've never played with or played against before. I go with Milla because it's really aggressive, really hard hitting. So this match is basically gonna, you guys are gonna see, and I'm gonna basically comment on how you deal with characters that you've never fought with before. I've never fought with Sarah, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what she can do. I only know what she can do from the Virtual Fighter standpoint, so I just start going in, which necessarily isn't the best thing to do, but it's really paying off for me here until something like this happens. And I'm going to pause for a second while you take a look. I see that? I had no idea she could do that. I had no idea that she could do that. Even this, I'm just getting rocked, and now I'm just getting worried because I'm like, holy crap, she is just doing so much to me, and I can't defend against it. And that goes back into what you're afraid of, because I'm just like, wow, everything is coming at me so much, and I'm freaking out, but I'm blocking. I tried to go with something, but it didn't work, and I countered wrong again. But this time I countered right, so I can't really say anything wrong about that. But like I said, it's just all that. I mean, I tried to counter, I kept getting it, and like I'm gonna. This is from the past. I try to follow this rule as much as I can, but like I said, your nerves get the best of you, and see that. Again, I had no idea what I was in for in this fight. And this Online Warrior series is, like I've always said, and I always will say, it's a learning experience. And, what do you guys do against characters you have no idea what to do against? Do you have a different battle strategy planned, or do you just go with your same old routine? Because it depends really on what characters that you know what they can do. And so, like here, I didn't know what I was in for, and I got rocked that fight, and I'm not afraid to admit that, because I had no idea what Sarah could do. I have no idea what I was in for or what she was capable of. I didn't never underestimate any of your opponent, what character they can use. I just wasn't aware of what to expect, and that's how it happens, like in a tournament where it's like, you don't know what a character's in for. So how do you, as the viewer, as the gamer, as the fighter, prepare yourself mentally, or just prepare your character gameplay based on that, and I know big parts of it are patience and just doing your combos, but that's all part of a bigger picture here, and I had no idea what to do, and that's why I took that loss. And I just want to know what you guys would have done with, or what you guys do against characters that you don't know how they play. And so I was just like, wow, I couldn't even believe it. But I go with Kokoro here as the random. I wanted to do some practice with her, so that's why normally if somebody picks random, you pick random also, but I'm not as fluent with most of the cast like how I kind of am in Dead or Alive 4. I can fun play most of the cast, but I didn't really learn that many people in this game yet, so I'm just gonna go with Kokoro here, and whichever random comes up, the random comes up for my opponent. Had to see about that, but I get a Bayman. Ironically, again, another character that I've never seen, that I've never fought against. I've seen it by a pro gamer. I can't remember his name. Rakuda, I think, Rakuda, one of those. And automatically, one piece of advice I can give is, if you don't know what a character, if you don't know what to do against a character specifically, then categorize a character like how they are. Bayman's a grappler, and he's a hard-hitting character. So basically, that automatically means don't get in close, and rush down if you can, and don't be predictable. And just do all that stuff. I take this loss right here, but I come back. That was a good. He did a low, I did a high, so basically none of us got hit. And I basically just, I'm patient. Because one thing about grapplers is their throws hurt, their counters hurt, whether it be him, or Leon, or Bayman, or even Tina, or even like Lisa. It's like, you don't want to get caught up in the grapples, because that's what their game plan is. That's what they're known for. And so here, I'm just going with my flow. I'm going with it, and that's how I take this victory here, because I'm being more patient with my flow. I'm listening more to the motion of my character and at the game, and that's something else I think and that's something else I think you guys should do also, is like how you flow that you go with the flow of everything, go with the flow of the game, go with the flow of your opponent, and go with the flow of your character. Because with my previous, like how I'm backing up and only striking when necessary, that's my battle plan against, the grappler characters. And I know I definitely have a lot to improve on with that. And we're down to the wire again, but I'm being patient with myself, and that's how I wind up taking that victory. Here, I'm just critical stunning, and I'm just starting to do that also. Sometimes it's always good to refer to like some strategy guides, or like like they call it the Bible for your fighting game, and you just I just went with it. I just know in my head, don't get close, don't be predictable, and stand back and block if you can. And that's basically how all this goes down. And like I said, see with that, I'm being patient. I could have countered that low, but I just didn't think about that. But I still get the victory anyway from that. So one thing that if you can take from the episode, and a lesson learned from this episode, is be patient with what your character can do, but also be prepared for the unexpected. If you know what a certain character's game style plan is, like rush down or patient or grappler, have a plan for those three characters. Have a plan for that character in particular. And then when you have that game plan, your plan is going to be working. Like if you saw from that last match with the Bayman, my plans were working. I wasn't getting too close. That's what the game plan calls for. And I was just, getting in when I could, got out when I could. And that's how I took the victory, because I was paying attention to myself. I was listening to myself, and I let everything flow. And that's how I won. And that's how I'm just going to take that and improve for future episodes and for future commentary. But we're going to end this episode here. I just want to thank you guys so much for listening and watching. This is TheMrDarkPhoenix with Dead or Alive 5, the Online Warrior. I'll come back soon, and I will see you guys. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.